Hey everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and I want to do three things with this video. I want to really illustrate why it is so important to follow people who are providing you pertinent information so that you don't fall behind. I'm going to point out a few new faces and some old faces that are keeping up. I'm also going to share with you straight from the source why, if you are a Spark holder, you need to be ready by May to maximize your rewards. You have, as an XRP holder, been far too patient, more than what is or should be required of someone to benefit from being in this space. I don't want to see anyone left behind. And the third thing is, yes, DeFi is big. That is decentralized finance. But is gaming even bigger for Flare? I want you to be the judge after you watch this video. Now, I went back into my videos and in the channel, and I found that I made the first Flare Network video that I could find August 12th, 2020. Nobody was interested. Nobody. Just 3,794 views. And then you compare that to the video that I had 1 month later when I was lucky enough to host Hugo Filion, the co-founder of the Flare Network platform. And then the subsequent videos to follow were getting views like 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 people. So the awareness through education had significantly increased. And the supporting exchanges also came in and they fell into line, more than 100 of them, among them the major exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, Bithumb, Bitso, Bitstamp, Celsius, eToro, Huobi, Kraken, OKX, Poloniex, even 12 from Japan. Just about half of the exchanges participated in that snapshot. So just soon after I was in a kind of celebratory mode, very pumped up with the snapshot that took place on the 12th for me. I know for people in the West, a lot of it was done on the 11th, but for me it was on December 12th. I then went on to a live stream with Jerry, and I had really come to the realization of how important it was going to be, and that was education. Just listen to this 1 60-second portion where I talk about that. Because this DeFi space is going to take a lot of time for a lot of us to get up to speed and really feel like we can talk about it as confidently as we talk about remittances. And we know that the remittances in getting everyone to understand that has been a challenge, right? We've got BTC maximalists out there. I don't use that word often, but we do have them that still don't understand how XRP is utilized and still believe that XRP ledger is, centralized. So when we know how much it took to get up to speed on really understanding the facts of this space, and now here we are faced with having to go up that steep learning curve again in DeFi, I know it's going to be a process. It's probably going to take a lot of education. So in talking about who is going to provide that education, I think a lot of you have probably already discovered Guy. He is from Coin Bureau, and his Flare review is quite good. He talks about it as a 7-course meal because there's a lot to digest in looking at this project, and he did this video soon after the XRP snapshot. I think that this is a top-notch channel for education. And you know that a couple of days ago, I did the video with Mickey B. Fresh. He's going to do a great job with his new channel in bringing everyone up to speed in DeFi. And then there's the Flare community. This is a brand new channel. For those of you that have your XRP on a ledger, he did a new video that was uploaded on January 24th, and it is how to claim your Spark if you are using the Nano. Now, I'm going to take you to this video, which is probably the best of all. This is the Flare Network, the next generation of smart contracts with Hugo Filion and Santiago Velez. And I think it was captured on the 8th, but it has been available for everyone to watch on the Real Vision channel since January 14th. Really, 59 minutes of pure gold. I've talked about it before, but allow me to pull out two nuggets. The first nugget clearly makes the point, as you'll see, why you want to be ready out the gate in May, as in 3, 2, 1, go. You're going to hear from Hugo on that reason.
So that's the initial setup, and there's actually a long period over which those tokens vest. So it's 15% on day one, and then a 3-year period where between 2 and 4% of each of the remaining is distributed per month. The point of that, or point of the distribution characteristics and the length of it, is firstly to reduce when you distribute a token, you may not get the buy-in of everyone. And so it's to reduce the impact of liquidity on day one. But importantly, it's also to massively increase the yield that someone that holds the token and wishes to participate in the network can achieve.
Did you get that? We know that the reason why 15% is coming out in the beginning is to just reduce the impact of the liquidity. But more importantly, massively increase the yield with Spark holders who wish to participate. That is why you don't want to wait, because coming out the gate, being ready to participate is so important. I can't tell you that I want to see everyone rewarded for their patience. It would make me so happy. And Jungle uploaded a video yesterday where he talked to the guy named Indy from Deep Space Flare, who is a beta tester. And you can see Jungle is getting ready. He's getting ready to be one of those starters out of the gate. I think if you had seen the video that the two of us did also, his awareness level is very high. So the Deep Space Flare channel, they are uploading their experience with, you can see here, the Flare Farm, Flare X, part of the product offerings that are coming from Flare Finance. I think this is a new face that you want to follow. And yes, Jungle did join me on Friday, and we briefly spoke to Flare Fusion. They are a signal provider, one of the ways you can earn with your Spark token. And remember, there are multiple components to capture the rewards. I'm going to be introducing to you yet another signal provider. This is really a risk-free delegation service on the Flare network in Europe. Risk-free staking. You can earn more Spark by, yes, holding your Spark. It never leaves your wallet. I would think I'll have this video up in a couple of days. Now I'm going to take you back to the second nugget out of this. And this is taking me to, what do you think is bigger here? The DeFi space or the gaming space? Or maybe they're both equally important. So have a listen. Santiago is so good. He was very impressed with what Hugo and his team have built. It really is quite brilliant. And they are shooting for this May live date for the mainnet They're doing their safety testing right now, and they will provide this highly transparent foundation. They're in the process of getting it set up. It's most likely going to occur from the Netherlands because of their regulatory clarity. And if you watch Hugo carefully, you can see his face light up in this second nugget. All right, have a listen.
We will try to be, good custodians, but our principal responsibility is to ourselves and to our shareholders. We are the largest shareholders, and I hope people understand that. Now, with regards to network, the most important thing is that if it's to be successful, people must participate, they must build, they must interact with applications, and hopefully they must do so in a way that is as low risk as possible. It's test things out, try them. Don't put all your money in them in the first go. Would be my advice. But we are genuinely trying to build something that is of utility to the F-asset networks that sit, beside Flare. And as if you were going to ask me where I think this year is going to be focused, I'm hoping it's obviously going to be focused on DeFi, but also principally gaming. I personally think gaming I personally think the products of gaming, which are assets themselves. So if you think you go through a game, what are you earning? You're earning a new car, a new shield, a new this, a new that. Those are almost the purest representations of real digital assets that should be tradable. And that is where I certainly see a really strong and exciting future.
Did you see his face? That's where he really thinks there is a strong future. You see, in March 2019, Ripple put a bet on gaming. A $100 million grant came from Spring to be managed by Forte, a gaming company that is funded by some very big backers, including Coinbase Ventures. And Danny Aranda from Ripple, he wrote on the Spring blog at that time that Codius was part of that component with Forte, and that they had been early on deeply embedding the Interledger protocol, the Codius, and XRP into that platform for Forte, into their architecture, to maximize cross-chain interoperability, security, and liquidity. With this technical foundation bundled over core technologies, tools, and easy-to-use services, Forte is building one of the most exciting platforms that will enable developers to reach mass consumer audiences. Now, Codius goes back all the way to 2014. This is when the company Ripple released the first prototype and source code for smart contracts. It's always been kind of a slow burning dish cooking behind the scenes. However, it was in May that Ripple CTO David, when asked about Codius, he tweeted that Ripple isn't actively working on it. I still think it's an amazing idea that has become even more applicable over time. We just can't do everything at the same time. No, you can't. And I understand that, David. Ripple can't do everything. But remember that Flare is a Ripple investment, and Flare Networks is a smart contracts platform. So I do believe that instead of developing it in-house with Codius, I think there is a great potential to interweave the smart contracts platform of Flare. And you can see 2 months ago, Forte wrote on their blog a bit more in detail about 4 partners that they are working with: Penrose, Gallium, Turbo, and Monster Ideas. This is going to bring forth the next era of games, they wrote, in ways never before possible. And Monster Ideas then tweeted the very next day that it's been awesome working with the Forte platform. Soon, we will be able to talk about how crypto and blockchain will help developers make games that align the needs of players and developers. I think this is super exciting. Santiago, he was in the New York XRP meetup that I also joined, and he said that he has Forte coming in a coming video interview. So I can't wait. I encourage everyone to keep focused on the future and keeping up with this ecosystem and where it's going. I think Santiago is someone you want to stay in touch with, because it's just too easy to get stuck in the past. It's maybe too comfortable sometimes to keep pushing yourself. You might look like an early adopter next to your neighbor in your neighborhood, but in this space, especially in crypto Twitter, you'll quickly become a laggard. So please be careful. All right, everybody. Yes. What am I talking about? I'm talking about sailors. The last time I did a video and I had my fluff, I talked about how the Japanese sailors eat curry every Friday because of a tradition that was adopted from the British Navy way, way, way back before the turn of the century. And I couldn't pull the word sailor out of my brain, or seamen, or, as somebody said, they call the women waves. I thought that was kind of great. But I couldn't, for whatever reason, pull it out of my brain. And people were like, what is that? I can't believe it. Everyone was so disappointed. Well, it does happen. And it shouldn't happen, because we have Sailor Moon in Japan. And yeah, I do get a little rusty with my English on words that you don't use for a long time, but I have no excuse for sailor, especially because Sailor Moon, even though it was a popular manga and anime story during the 90s, it's still very, very popular. These are some serious cosplay members of the community, and they are dressing up as Sailor Moon characters. This is a very recent picture. It's beautiful, really, really beautiful. And you can still buy the Sailor Moon figurines on Amazon. They still are getting a very good price for them. And even this Valentine's Day has a Sailor Moon chocolate series for the 14th. And this is just 2 days ago. There are Sailor Moon boots that have come online, available to order. So cute. If you go to the area of Harajuku, you can see the girls who are really into that fashion. And then also, just a couple of days ago, there's a new glow-in-the-dark Sailor Moon hoodie that became available in Japan. So yeah, I should never have forgotten the word sailor. And if you, can't be necessarily a sailor in real life, maybe the closest thing you can do to become a sailor for the day here in Japan is to go on a drift ice sightseeing tour. This is the Abashiri ice flow that comes in every year. It just arrived on the 21st, and so the ice comes down from the borders of Russia and China in mass, And it is this mix of frozen ice that is freshwater and saltwater. And you can board one of the icebreakers that actually go to work. And that boat, this one, the Aurora, is maybe one of the most popular because it's one that you can board. And they depart on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays until the beginning of April. Actually, there's a variety of wild animals that you can see too from the boat. There's the sea angels, the seals, eagles, red fox, deer. It's very special, and you can do it for just only about 3,500 yen, which is a little under 35 US dollars. I think, yeah, there's actually some different boats. The Aurora is one that has been most famous and has a lot of people uploading pictures on Twitter. So I will put the Japanese, it's actually in here, not katakana, but it's in hiragana, so that you can just plug it into Twitter and you can see everybody's photos and videos that they're uploading. It's a really good place to see it from. And also too, how could I not just tell you a little bit of some wackiness with food? This is somebody who put the Aurora in their curry, and the onigiri or rice balls are the big blocks of ice. Too much fun. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.